Woohoo! Good afternoon, everybody. It's Lulu here. Thank you so much for joining the first ever episode of Soulful Branding Live with Lulu. I'm a bit nervous, imagine. I am Lulu Kitololo. I'm an artist, designer, brand consultant, festival organizer, business network co-founder. And I truly believe that creativity can change the world. So I'm really passionate about inspiring people to harness their creativity in building businesses and indeed lives as a whole that make their hearts sing. And I'm on this journey too, myself. So it's really just about sharing what I learn, what I observe as I go. So in 2017, just a little over 2 years ago, I launched the Soulful Branding Challenge, which is an online course designed to help people find their voice, find their tribe, and deliver to their tribe that special magic that only they can. And since then, soulful branding has become a kind of philosophy for me. I see the principles of the course in play in so many aspects of life, of business. And that's what brought me to this place where I am sharing this live series with you. So thank you so much for joining me. Feel free to drop questions and comments in the chat as we go along if you are indeed watching this live. So this series of lives is going to explore some of those aspects of business and life which I see as linking up with this idea of being soulful and soulful branding. So I'll be sharing from my own experiences, and I welcome you also to suggest any topics that you'd like me to cover. Today, I will be sharing the reason why I decided to do this series in the first place. And each episode will have a question and answer segment towards the end. So again, feel free to drop questions now. I will share some of the upcoming topics in case you want to send me questions in advance, in case you want to send me questions anonymously. So feel free. So what exactly does soulful branding mean to me? For many years, I was stuck in this world of should. This is how things should be done. This is how I should present myself. So when I started working for myself, subscribing to these external expectations, these shoulds, meant that I wasn't really attracting work that aligned with me, that completely aligned with who I was. As a result, my true gifts couldn't shine, right? I was working with clients maybe whose values didn't completely resonate with me, or whose outlook, whose style didn't resonate with me. So I was unable to let my true gifts shine. You know, I wasn't able to bring to the table everything that I can bring and that I am uniquely placed to bring. So not only was I not able to bring this special magic that only I can, I also started to lose joy for what I was doing. You know, I started to question, do I really want to do this design thing? Do I really want to do this creative thing? So it all changed when I realized that I just needed to do me, to be true to myself, to present myself in a way that reflected who I really am and what makes me unique. So, you know, it's funny, lately on Instagram, which is my main channel for browsing, I keep seeing these posts that are some variation of that message. I take it as a sign and as a reminder, and so yeah, some variation of this message. So it's a message we hear all the time, but then, you know, how do you do that? So we're going to touch a little bit on how you do that. But going back to my story, so I lost joy for what I was doing. I felt like I wasn't bringing the full me to the table. And it all changed when I realized that I just needed to be me, to be true to myself, to present myself in a way that reflects who I am and what makes me unique. So branding to me, when people ask me, what is branding? Ultimately is how we express ourselves or our businesses or our brands to the world. Brand names, logos, brand books or identity guidelines, elevator pitches, taglines, all those things are just tools for that expression. So when I speak of branding, I'm not talking about your logo. Yes, that's a part of it, but I'm talking about the bigger picture of how you show up in the world, or how your business or your brand shows up in the world. So when I decided to be true to myself, some exciting things started to happen. I attracted my dream clients. I started connecting and growing relationships with a like-minded audience, people who became fans, followers, yes, clients, customers, yes, but even friends, collaborators, mentors. I felt confident in my pricing. Pricing is a challenge I know a lot of us face, especially women. And I still face those challenges with it too, but I'm much more confident than I was before. It's understanding my value, my uniqueness, what I can bring that nobody else can, and this is what it costs. And if you don't want it, if it's not for you, that's okay. So pricing, I received opportunities to speak and to lead workshops at some prestigious London venues that I absolutely love, like the Southbank Centre and the V&A Museum. And I started to create a niche for myself and establish myself as a go-to person within that niche. I had a niche, and this is key. So being discriminating about who we want to work with or create products and services for actually creates more opportunity, not less. I know a lot of us sometimes worry that if we are very specific about who we want to serve, we will be missing out on the opportunity to serve all these other people. But actually, being that specific allows you to be very focused, and therefore allows you to be more effective in giving value to those people who you've decided to focus on. So in the end, you get better results than when you're trying to have a wide net and hoping things, all kinds of different things will land in it. So these are some of the things that I delve deeper into in my Soulful Branding course. But I wanted to bring some of those conversations to a wider audience with these live sessions. So I ummed and ahed about where to host these sessions. I know some of you can relate to this when you have different social media accounts and maybe even multiple businesses or business streams. Sometimes it's tricky to figure out how best to organize what you're putting out there, how to streamline. I know many of you are multi-passionate people, so I know you're feeling me. So it's tough when at the end of the day, it's you who is behind all those different things or all those different businesses. You who has the same values, you who has the same personality, you who has the same outlook on life. So in fact, I ended up calling my business Lulu Kitololo Studio after realizing that it was the simplest way to create an umbrella for my different professional pursuits. At the end of the day, it's my thinking, my creativity, my aesthetic that is at the core of all those things. So this made my life much simpler. So back to the umming and ahhing. After some deliberation, I realized it made the most sense to host these lives here in the Afri-love women group. This community has been so nurturing for me. From day one, it's exceeded my expectations, just how engaged all of you are. It's been indeed the safe space that I envisioned it would be. And I personally have been able to practice this very scary to me thing called vulnerability. So thank you to all the Afri-love women members for continuing to hold this kind of space for me and for each other. So This is where I'll host them. Each week, I'll be sharing the video and relevant episode notes on my blog as well, which is Afri-love.com, so that other people who aren't in this group, and indeed men, if they choose, can also access what I share here. So, on to the big question of this episode. And it's something that I want you to really reflect on, to sit with, to explore. If you journal, maybe you'll journal about it, let it marinate. And it's those questions that the answer is going to evolve as you evolve. So it's something you can keep coming back to. You can use it as a sort of checklist or measuring stick to ensure that you're still doing things in alignment to your vision for yourself through life, really. And I've broken it down into different parts. So the first question, and I have to give credit to Nadia Ahmed for this, for putting this terminology so strongly in my mind from an event that we held a few weeks ago in Mombasa. So she is all about this assertion, be your own vibe. And there is a link to her Instagram in the notes, so you can check it out. But yes, she kept, encouraging us to be our own vibe. And so my question to all of you is, what is your vibe? Because she had me thinking about that. It's one of those things where sometimes you feel like, innately but when you're forced to actually define it or write it down or tell somebody what is your vibe, and I found myself in a place where I felt I needed to reconnect. Yeah, what is my vibe? What makes me happy? What do I care about? Yeah. So what's your vibe? And a big question that I ask in my course and to everybody I can is, what do you want to be known for? So you, the person, you, the professional, you, the business, if you have one, the brand of your business. When you think of all these different aspects of yourself, how do you want to feel? When other people think of these entities or hear their names, what thoughts or feelings do you want to inspire? What do you want to be known for? What do you need to get in touch with or reconnect with to get back in understanding of who you truly are? What's important to you? What inspires you? What makes you happy? What makes you angry? What makes you want to change something? What drives you? What has shaped you? What's shaping you now? What are your gifts? What do you want? What do you want to be known for? Or, and I borrowed this from a great book that I just finished reading by a woman called Shanna Kennedy. The book is called The Life Plan. And she asks you to think about, who are you when you're at your best? So I'll share how I answered that with her prompts. So when I am at my best, so what I did is try and think through recent history, what moments did I feel I was at my best? And, I didn't think of one particular instance, but kind of like a theme, right? So I'm at an event, I'm organizing or sharing or teaching or socializing with lots of like-minded people, mostly women, and I felt vibrant and happy and full. I felt valued, I felt worthy, I felt loved and heard. So that's what I thought of. So you can use the same frame in thinking about your business or your professional brand. So for those of us who aren't in business, we still have a personal brand. And so a lot of these principles apply in the same way. So what do you want to be known for? Okay, so enough of me talking. It's question time. So I don't know if anyone has some burning questions already. Please drop them in the comment feed and I will answer as best I can. And like I said before, I understand that some of us are shy, me included, believe it or not. So if you want to ever share comments or questions anonymously, I invite you to send them to me via Instagram, via DM. So my Instagram handle is at Lulu Kitololo, all one word. Or you can send them via email too, and my email address is lulu@lulukitololo.com. Please don't send them on Facebook, and I'll just be real and admit I can't keep up with all the inboxes in life, and so Instagram and email, please. I see the shy people are on the feed today, which is okay. If you've enjoyed today's episode and are watching on Facebook, please like it, please share it. I see a lot of you have already. Thank you. And if you are watching this video later on my blog, please drop a comment and also share with anyone who you think could benefit from these questions, these thoughts, these ideas. Stay tuned for episode 2 next week. It will be live again here on Afri-love Women. It will be on Wednesday, the 31st of July. And what I will do is send out a quick poll to see what times are best for everyone. I had initially chosen this one, 3 p.m. East African time. But depending on the feedback that I get from you all, I might adjust the time. If you're watching this later and you're a woman who's interested in joining the Afri-love Women group, please see the link with the show notes. And as I mentioned earlier, every week I'm going to talk about business and life with a soulful branding twist. If you have any topics that you'd like me to cover, please let me know. As I said, I don't have all the answers, but I do have plenty of questions, and in my experience, conversations are always an amazing way for all of us to learn from each other. So the following are some of the topics I have lined up. So you can even start sending me your questions about these now. So one of them is the most important thing I've learned from starting a product business, the most important steps in a rebranding or branding exercise, content creation for events, and many more. So please, any ideas, share them. Any questions, share them. It's so great. I see people who are in London, Nairobi, Norway, South America. This is really amazing. And it's so, yeah, it just makes me so grateful for technology that I can be in this space with all of you everywhere and just be connecting. So I look forward to more. And if you can't wait till Wednesday and you want more, I've got more. I share weekly tools and treats for more mindful and joyful business and life through my mailing list. I send a weekly newsletter. It's fun, it's interesting, trust me. I put a lot of love into it. So if you'd like to sign up to that, it's bit.ly/lulukitololomail. It's also linked in the notes. When you sign up, you'll also get exclusive access to my library of goodies, which includes phone wallpapers, coloring sheets, printable art, and other things that I add to regularly. And you can also hang out with me on Instagram at Lulu Kitololo. So thank you again, everybody. I look forward to hanging out with you again next week. And I really appreciate all of you and all the best for the rest of the week. Bye.